Hello Craftaholics, welcome back to my studio. And if this is your first time here, it is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Peggy and welcome to my studio. So last month on YouTube, I found a video for Kendra's Card Challenge 10. And I had never honestly seen anything like it before. Kendra shows you how to take six 6x6 pieces of cardstock and turn it into at least 15 cards. And I was so intrigued, I signed up last month. Now, I didn't videotape it because I wanted to kind of make sure I knew what I was doing. I didn't want to lead you blind, and I didn't want to be completely confused. So I just did it on my own in the background, and I had so much fun. It's really unique, and it gets your creative juices flowing if you've kind of lost your mojo a little bit, which I have, and you guys know I did because I talked about it, I think, in my last video. But it was so much fun, like I said. And it's neat because there's a printout that you download. And I'm not going to show the whole thing because you have to be a member of her Facebook group or her Patreon to be able to download it. But I'll show you a sneak peek at one of the pages in a second. But she shows you how to take each sheet, how to cut it down. Each piece is like, it shows you what direction it'll be going, and it's really interesting. And then there are sketch sheets like this that show you how to put everything together. Now, I have bought these on scrapbook.com. I love these kind of envelopes that they have. These are 5x8, and I had to get like 2 packs of 10, so I've got 20. I got them numbered up to 20. The most I've seen her do, I think, was like 17, but I numbered them. It's in a whole holder. This is my little Kendra challenge basket. Let me pull out the first 5 because we're going to do the first 5 today. I figured 5, 5, and 5 is a good amount since it takes a while to eat a chocolate out. No, it takes a while, to put cards together. But that's one of the things she suggests is putting them in like an envelope or a cello bag or something with all of your pieces cut out. So that's what I do, and I get anything extra that I might need for the card in there. And I have everything is already cut out, and some pieces are embossed. I didn't do any stamping with anything. I'm just really using cutouts right now, like die cuts basically. So, but I am also using, I didn't do it on this one, but some of them I've used an embossing folder. But anyway, those are my little kits that we'll be working on. The other things that I have, let me tell you what paper I'm using. I am just doing this all backwards, and I'm sorry. I am using, since it's Christmas in July, or Craftmas in July as I like to call it, I am using Echo Park's Gnome for Christmas. And I can't flip through the pad because most of it's gone because I've cut it up for the cards. Anyway. And anything that I didn't, like beyond the 6, I've used them to cut out for backgrounds and things like of that nature. But it's an adorable, adorable paper pack. Anyway, let's see. I also have some sticky gems. And these are from Amazon, and these are from Michael's. And I will try to link everything below for you. Put those aside. Aside from what she draws on the sketches, you can improvise a little bit. Like you can turn things and you can add extra embellishments. So that's what those are for. I also have, besides my Barely Art Glue, which is, yay, it's now in a Barely Art bottle. Awesome. I have some foam tape on a, this is a little bit thinner on the roll. And then these are from Michael's also. I have some squares and some dots. So, not sure what I'm going to need. So, I'm going to put those aside. Actually, what I think I'll do is get out. I'm not sure about using these. They're a little bit thicker than I normally like. They're probably about 3 millimeters thick, which, like I said, it's a little bit thicker. I usually like thinner ones. I didn't realize that when I ordered them because I have to order everything. In case you are new here, my husband is an over-the-road truck driver. I'm disabled, and I really can't get out unless he's home. So I only get to actually go physically shopping one week a month. Not even a week, like twice a month, 2 days. So everything else I had to order. So I did order all that from Michael's, but I didn't realize, again, that they're like really thick, but it'll work fine. Anyway. All right, let's get started. So, for sketch 1, I need to make a bow. I've cut out, hold on a second, guys. Okay, sorry, somebody was at the door. Okay, let me put eyes on. Okay. For the first card, there is a couple layering pieces. This is actually my first paper. They're A to F. And then there are a couple tags that sit on top with a bow. So these, I didn't do anything extra to these. I didn't see, well, with this having a pattern, I didn't see any reason to run it through like with an embossing folder or anything. So this one is going to be kind of straightforward. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue down the green one. And my bases I made out of, it's 110 pound from Michael's, and it is called White Dove. I thought with these colors being a little deeper, I thought that, make sure your card is facing the right direction to open. I thought that the bright white would be just a little much, you know? So, I think I'm going to glue that one down on here, my base down on there. Okay, let me put this. Go on. All right, this is like going to be one of the easier ones to do. But I'm going to... This embroidery floss, I just bought this on Amazon as well. I bought like a good amount of it. It was a package of, I don't know how many skeins of it was. It was redonkulon, but, you know, I use it when I'm making journals and things too. So, put that aside. Okay. Like I said, this is one of the, like, the easiest ones, I think, to put together. But I'm just feeding my floss through. And pull that through like that. And then it shows a bow on the sketch, so I'm just gonna attempt to tie a bow. I am not the best bow tire. I will be completely honest. And I thought about cutting one out just with a die, but I didn't have a big enough die for this. So, but there is my bow. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put everything down before I trim off my ends. But it shows them being down like this. So what I'm going to do, okay, and I will apologize right now. My voice is squeaking. I've got allergies pretty bad. And that's a little much there. Let's see. Cross it a little bit more like that. There we go. So I just glued those together. Okay. And, well, anyway, I've been fine with my allergies. I'm just going to put glue up here, just at the very top. Except all of a sudden, as soon as I turned my camera on to record, I started coughing. So I apologize if I sound scratchy. I'm going to leave those like open, kind of like that. Maybe I'll do a little bit more down here. Just kind of like right in the middle. But I'm going to leave these kind of loose on the end there. I like the way that looks. And then, since that is down now, I am going to... Not thrilled with my bow, I will say. But, you know, I just, like I said, I stink at making bows. If anybody knows a good trick for me, let me know down below. Because I'm there for it. Okay. And I'm going to take, there they are, my scissors. These are by Fiskars, and they are awesome. Especially if you have, like, problems with your hands and whatnot. I love them. Okay, cut off the pieces. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little bit of glue. It will dry clear. So, put a little bit of glue there. And my ends, I'm going to put a little bit of glue. You can use something like fray check. Or you can even take a lighter and lightly singe the ends to keep them from fraying. But I don't have a lighter handy. So that's going to be that one so far. There. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to use some foam tape to pop this up. And to cut this, I am using a pair of scissors that are non-stick. Anytime you're dealing with any kind of tape, like any kind of adhesives, definitely use non-stick. You won't get the gunk on your scissors. I mean, if you do, it's easy enough to clean off, but it's a pain in the hiney. So, I just, honestly, just start with non-stick to begin with. I'm just going to put one more in the middle. You can also, if you don't have double-sided, like the foam tape, you can also get the fun foam, and you can cut a piece out, not exactly the same size, but a little bit smaller, and you can put that under there, and that'll give you a nice lift on your card as well. So I'm just going to make sure those are down. And then peel off the backings. You just want to give a little dimension to your cards, and it doesn't take much to do so. All right, but lining this up without looking like right over it may not be easy. Let's. Okay, guys, sorry, my phone died, but I ended up with sticking this on to give it just a little bit of dimension. And you can also, well, you know what, all right, let me see. That glue is, let me undo this a little bit. No, I can't. Okay, I was going to put try to take this off and put some foam under here too to give it a little dimension. But with having these ends free, it does help with that a little bit. But that is card number 1. Okay. Goodness. Yeah, it just shut down the camera. Like, okay. All right, so there is card 1. Let me put that aside. Ugh. Okay. Card number 2. And I know it's hard without me showing the sketches, but I'm honestly not sure if that's okay. I didn't ask, since I'm not on the design team and stuff. That's the only reason why I am not. I guess I could show you real quick. Okay, now we're doing this one. Okay. I don't know. I'm going to have to find out about that, if I can show them or not. So this one, I did take an embossing folder, snowflakes, on the green. And this one is going to be set up with these 4 pieces on, where's the other one? It's still in the pouch. Oh my goodness. Okay. This one, they're going to be lined up like this. Now, I am going to sadly, I did use something that was directional, but for something like this, you really shouldn't. But I'm going to have these face in this way, and then have those that way. I just need to check I'm lining it all up. And there's about 1/8 of an inch, I guess, maybe, all the way around. Something like this is it's a little more difficult for me to do with my hands hurting, but that's how, hopefully, we'll get it glued down. But, let's see. Something like, oh, I need my glasses on again. I'm so discombobulated here. Discombobulated, however you want to say it. It's crazy. Okay, let's see. But that's the first time. I had like 45% of my battery left, but apparently it just wasn't enough for today. So, but yeah, when you're doing something like this, It is, I thought it was good with the directional bit. I guess I miscalculated it a little bit. But that's okay. Not a big deal. But it is best to have something that's non-directional. So, for doing something of this nature. As you can see, it's actually just two sides of the same paper. Okay. It's because I liked both sides. And there's one of the designs coming down a little bit down the road that it worked perfect to have both of those sides. Okay. I think what we're going to do, I'm going to glue this, again, make sure you know where your card opening is. I'm going to glue this right down to the base again, just since it's the bottom layer. If I give everything dimension, it gets to be a little bit thick. And if I decide to mail these to someone, it's not going to go through a postage machine very well. So that's something to keep in mind, too, when you're making cards. Be conscious of how thick you're making it. If it's something that you're going to hand deliver, it doesn't matter what you do, it's fine. But also remember, if you make something thicker, that you'll have to, oh, I got glue all over me, have to more than likely make a box envelope for it, just so it can ship, and then they cannot go through the postage machines, and it does cost a little bit more. So just be mindful of what's going on that way. Okay. And now this one, you don't have to do the background, but it adds a lot to it. Now this is going to center this way on top. Again, most of these are pretty simple to do. That's why you really ought to look up Kendra's card challenge. Like I said, I will put a link down below to her video. Each month she does like an introduction video and showing how to cut the papers and what papers she'll be using and whatnot. But it's, like I said, that's the video that I saw that really got me interested, because I've never seen anything like this before. I don't know if you guys have. If you have, let me know. I did find somebody else who kind of does the same sort of thing, but I'm just gonna put one. I'm gonna put one like diagonal right here, just to kind of give a little oomph to the middle. I did find someone else that's kind of the same thing. Well, it's really not. I don't know. It ends up only, I don't know where my pokey tools are. It ends up being just the same card. It's like 10 of the same card or something. And I like this because everyone is different. And I think it's really neat. So, and I should have had my trash can handy, but I do not. It is across the room. I got so like disorganized when my camera died, because I also went and had dinner and other stuff, but while I was waiting for it to charge, but that really threw me off, let me tell you. Now when you're doing something like this, remember you can do the glue stick trick. You put some glue stick, or even if you want a little bit of wiggle room, you can even put just a little bit like this of wet glue. Just a little, not a lot, just enough to get you some, so it'll squiggle around a little bit for you in case you need to move things. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm trying to look in my monitor as well so I can see. Okay, there's that. And then there is a sentiment. And again, she gives the measurements for everything, like even, the backing pieces for everything. And the sentiment's supposed to be down here. I'm wondering. I don't know if I like it there or if I like it down here. I think I like it across the middle, actually. So we're going to put it across the middle. I've seen other people change up some of the designs. I know you can like change the orientation and stuff. And there are a couple cards in the future that I'm going to be, probably the next video I think, that I'll be changing the orientation just because it doesn't work with my papers. So, but I think that I'm going to put it this way. Let's try to get that as straight. There we go. And I'm not putting anything on the inside of these yet. See, that's not too bad. It's 2 layers. It's not too thick. It'll still go into an envelope and can still actually go. I believe it can still go through a postage scale. Anyway, that's card number 2. Okay. Put that aside. I'm hoping they don't fall. They're like sitting on my bed behind me and kind of very precariously. Okay, third one is this one. And there's some of these that have quite a few layers, as opposed to last month. But let's see. Okay, this one, I don't have anything for this. Okay, this one I did not, again, I didn't put anything through a embossing folder because there's so little of the layers showing. I love this so much, the green plaid. There's so little showing that it really didn't, to me, it didn't make sense to actually emboss anything. If this had been, if I had used white for this piece, I probably would have, just because it would be kind of plain. But, so let's do this. I do love that. Let's get this first layer. For some reason, I don't like bumping up my back layering piece. I don't know. I hardly ever, I've done it before. I guess it all depends. But for something like this, with there's so many layers, again, I just don't. Okay, let's see. Which way are we opening? Which way is my card opening? It's opening this way. Okay, I'm glad I looked. It doesn't matter with this layer, but I'm seriously glad that I looked, because it would have messed up the rest of the card. Always know where your card is opening. And that's one thing. Last month, I did that on 2 of them. I made them this way. So I'm just going to cut the fronts off and put the panels on other cards. It'll be fine. Not a big deal. Not a big dealio. Okay, then since like I said, I'm using the same color cardstock as I did the base, I am going to pop this down on there. I think this combined level I'm probably going to put up on some dimension. And then this is a little bit bigger border. There we go. Okay. Now this one. Yeah, this is my A paper, and then my B paper. And this, trying to match it up. It's gonna go like that off to the side. And see, if like, again, if this was just a white here, I would have run it through an embossing folder. Now I'm not going to pop these up, okay? Just because I'm probably going to pop a little bit of this up. And then, okay, so let's get these down. It doesn't take that long to put them together, but it's the cutting out of everything and picking papers and matching things up. That's what takes the longest. But it's still, it's a lot of fun. And there's a lot of really good people in the Facebook group. I've met a lot of really, really nice people. Oh, and actually, I forgot today, what time is it? Well, a couple hours ago, there was actually the video for the last one, which was Challenge 10, the first one I did, where the winners were going to be picked in there. She does a video, it's going to be on YouTube. Again, Kendra's Card Challenge, or Cards by Kendra, I believe is her YouTube channel. And it's going to showcase all of the cards that people made last month. And I don't know if I said it earlier or not. I don't remember, honestly. But it is a quarterly challenge. So this challenge, which is challenge 11, is going, that looks really pretty, from July, August, September. And you can enter a set of cards each month. Only one set each month. I did not cut this part down, did I? No, I did not. Oh, no, maybe I did. Let me see. Oh, yeah, that stretches all the way across. Okay, so what I may... Okay, let's do this. All right, let's pop this up with some foam tape. Okay. And again, be sure you use non-stick scissors when you're messing with any kind of adhesives. I mean, like I said, you can use alcohol or like Undo or Goo Gone to get the residue off, but it's just much better to not have it in the first place. So, any kind of scissor. The scissors will say if they are non-stick. This I just got at Walmart. These are by Westcott, and it was like a set of 3. There was these, like a medium, and then a small pair. So, and I think they're about, I'm don't quote me on this, but I think it's like $14 for the set or something. It's not that bad. And it's definitely worth it to get them. But whatever kind you get, just make sure that it says non-stick. That wasn't supposed to happen. I peeled a little bit of the cover paper off. There we go. Okay. Let me just... Alrighty. And I don't know why I'm not using my little pokey tool here. But... I'm going to trim this a little bit more. I didn't realize that it was actually... There. Just stick it there. Oh. Get off me. Okay. It was doubled up there, and that would not be good. I'm going to have so many little strips of paper, like backing paper over on my side here. Hey. Okay. So here's this one. I'm trying to look on the monitor. It's very hard to look like at something else when you're trying to do something like this. Okay. Then this one, I probably could have put this through a embossing folder, but I just didn't. Okay, this is gonna go right about here. And what I'm gonna do, how small are these squares? They're not that small. How about the circles? Okay. What I'm going to do is, because I don't want this, I'm going to just glue it down, but I don't want this like being floppy. So what I'm going to, okay, you know what, let me glue this down first. Okay. And again, you could run this through an embossing folder. I just didn't because there's so much going on already. I didn't see the need for it. But okay, there we go. Check. Not bad. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm hoping this isn't too big for under here. I don't think so. Okay, I got one other, well, you know what, it's a little big because you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to take one of these small squares out of here. Actually, I'm going to cut down a little bit of the side here. Remember, use everything that's at your disposal. I'm cutting 2 pieces that are about a 1/2 inch. Maybe, yeah, maybe 5/8, about a 1/2 inch more. But use everything. When you get something like this, use everything around it. You don't just have to use the parts that are cut out. Get your money's worth. Okay, I took the one off the bottom. I'm gonna put it in closer, because see, with this I can get it in closer. And put that in closer, right, butt it up against the other layer. Okay, and then lay that down. That makes sure that this doesn't flop. And again, I'm gonna just put that in there. Take off that backing. There. And that gives my piece, now it's all even and it's not going to flop. Okay. Now the next piece is two matting layers, and it's supposed to be a sentiment. But what I did, I cut that out, which I think is so cute. Happy holidays from our gnome to yours. I think that's just adorable. So these, I am just going to glue them together, and then I'm not sure if I'm going to give it dimension or not, honestly. I'm not sure, because they're already a little bit thick. No, I might. Like I said, again, that it would just have to be one that's hand delivered. But if it's just too thick, so okay. We're just gonna send it. And I did use circle dies to cut these out. As you can tell, they all have a little bit of stitching detail. These are actually from Scrap Diva Designs. I think it's not Basics Part 1. I'll have to look and see. I will link the set if I can. If I remember, I will link the set. And remember, if you do order something like that off of Scrap Diva or Amazon, I do make a tiny commission. It's no cost to you, but it does help me out a lot. It helps me to get more supplies and whatnot to make videos for you. So that is how that is going to sit. What do you think? Yeah, we'll give it a little, we'll pop it up just a little bit. But for this, I'm just going to use some of the squares, I think. And it probably makes sense to use the circles, but I'm just going to put it up on some squares here. And these are thick. So this is one, using these really thick squares, I would probably hand deliver it. Make sure it's going to somebody who I'm going to actually see, because it costs quite a bit more, from what I understand, to mail something that is non-machinable, I believe is what they call it. But if you do need to mail something like this, again, I'll do a video on making boxes for them, like card boxes to send, and how to make them nice and stable. Okay, this I'm going to put a little bit of glue on each one again to give myself that little hint of wiggle room there. It's just a little bit. See, not a whole lot. Okay, and well, get away from there. Okay, and this does not line up in the center of them. It lines up more in the center of the card and down a little bit. So it's going to look like that. Okay, I like it. I think it's cute. Okay, but now with this one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add, just because these, I didn't run those through the die cutting machine, I'm going to add some gems onto it. And I think I'm going to use these because I like the dark red along with it. I'm going to just put a couple dots of glue. There. Just because sometimes these need a little bit of help. I'm using the medium and the small size of these here. It's a medium. And again, that's the one thing you are, with this challenge, you are encouraged to go ahead and do some extra embellishing. There are some times where she will show you where you should place a gem or something. But for the most part, you can... It's stuck to my finger. Okay, you can do, add die cuts, you can add whatever to it. So... Okay. I need to get, I love this pokey tool, but I need to get something a little bit different for trying to pick gems with. See, I think that looks nice. I like, it adds kind of just enough, a little bit of oomph to it. Not a lot, just a little bit. A little bit of pizzazz. And bling is always good, let's face it. Bling is always... Okay, I don't know where the... Oh, there it is. So I say, I don't know where that one went. But bling is always a good addition. So... Okay, well, unless you're making cards to go to a children's hospital or something, then you cannot. But in regular card making, I think bling is always good. So there we go. There is number 3. Really, really pretty. Good dimension on that one. All right. Let me put this. I know I'm just going to take the pin right back out, but glues like this are infamous for clogging if you leave them open for too long. Okay, let me put number 3 back in here. Yeah, that one is thick. All right, number 4. Let me get some. Number 4 is this one. Okay. And this one, I used another embossing folder. I love this one. It is just, it's holly leaves and holly berries. I just think it's really pretty. I use this one more. I think that's the only time I use the snowflake one. I think I use this more for some reason. I don't know why, but I think I did. And again, the sentiment, I cut it off of one of the cut aparts. It fit perfect. Okay. See, again, this one has some embossing on it. Okay. This is many, many layers, as you can see. Oh, and these are supposed to be flags, and I forgot to cut them. So I have to do those. I have to remember. Remind me to cut the flags. Okay. This is another one with quite a few layers. So... Again, make sure you know where your card is opening, and it's opening the right way. And again, I'm going to put the first layer down, just right on the card base. I hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, please give it a like and also share it with a crafty friend. This I'm just going to glue right down as well. Please share it with a crafty friend. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. It will help me grow my channel, of course. And it will make me very happy. So, please subscribe, like, and share. I don't know. There you go. That's the quick version of what I just said. Okay. There's that. And I really like the black and the white together. I like the contrast of it. I think it looks really good. Now this one, this goes onto here. So let's figure out which way I want it to go this way. I'm just looking at it to see which way I think it looks better with the embossing. And I like the embossing because it gives texture, but it doesn't give a whole, I mean, it bumps it up a little bit because it's embossing it. but it doesn't give a lot of bulk to it, but it does add texture, and I love that on a card. This one's going to go right in the middle, and I think I'm just going to glue... I think I'm just going to glue these right down. Honestly, I'm just going to glue all of these flat. I'm not going to give any dimension to anything, I don't think. Yeah. So, there's a lot, and it's, you know. I can't believe I forgot to cut the banners out. Yeah, I can. I tried to have everything pre-done. Because, again, if you guys have been with me for a while, you know that I have a problem with my hands. And I really hate to try to do things like cutting on camera live. But this is going to line up just with my green part in the middle. It's going to go right in the middle. Aren't those gnomes cute? They're so cute. And I cut it the best that I could so you could see both rows. Oh, and on something like this, since it is... just like a white core, you can actually ink around these if you want to, or if you have the inks. You don't have to, but you can ink it if you like, just to cover that white core. And put that right in the center there. Okay. Okay. Now before I go any further, I want to cut my little banners. Oh, see, I'm starting to get resistance. It's wanting to jam. Okay. All right. Guys, don't laugh, okay, if my hands get all weird or something. Make sure you're holding them in the right direction. My only one is that little guy there. He's directional. So. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to line them all up at the bottom. Okay. And I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut up the middle. Then I'm going to go from this corner. I hope they're even. That corner in. I'm going to turn it this way and go from this corner in. Woo! That shot right at me. And now they all have the same, they're all cut the same at the bottom. Okay, so now we've got those. That's the easiest way to cut a banner. I mean, unless you have a die, but I don't have it. I just found a banner die. So, all right, this one, you're given an option, and I'm taking it, to use a scrap from one of your pages. So to do it like this, and then I think that is really, really cute. So we're going to do that. Let me glue the white part down first. And it's not so easy to pull my pin out because it wants to. Come on, baby. Of course, it's giving me a hassle. There we go. It's wanting to clog on me. So, okay. I'm going to glue this down. Okay. In the center of the black piece here. Okay. Then I'm going to choose what part I want showing. I want it to have a good amount of the berries showing. I think we'll do it right there. Okay, that's good. Oh yeah, my bottle's really hard to squeeze right now. It's really mad at me right now. Okay. Then I'm just gonna line this up on the sides and on the bottom. Just get that right in the center. There we go. And again, with so many layers, I'm not adding, like I said, I'm not gonna bump anything up. Let's put this down first where it goes right Just get right about there. I'm going to move it over just enough so it covers this piece. I want it. Make sure that's nice and straight, and it is. Oh shoot, I forgot my, okay. Whew, I didn't put this part down, so I forgot to put my banners. Oh my goodness. So I'm just gonna put a little glue. It's easier with something like this to put them on when it's, of course when it's flat. But if you forget, it's not a big deal. Just a little glue. And it may not be at the exact orientation that she had hers, and that's fine. You know. There we go. Come on. It doesn't want to work. For some reason, my hands are shaking right now, and I don't know why. Okay, there we go. And you can glue them down. You can leave. I'm going to leave them up. It gives a little bit of dimension without actually adding any dimension. But this is going to go across here, and it's going to go. I'm going to put it right to there. But what I'm going to do is pop it up a bit, since it's another one that's going to be hanging over. But what I'm going to do on the end is I'm going to use a little bit of the foam roll, because it doesn't have to go up so much on the end here. So I'll put this here because it is thinner. We'll put it this way. That should be good. Okay. And then at the other end, let me down just a little bit. There we go. And on the other end, I'm gonna just use another piece from this, and I'm actually gonna stick this right down to the card, since I know where it needs to be. Put it right there, and that should be good. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to put a strip all the way across, honestly, because this isn't, the end is going to bump it up a little more than I wanted. Yep, I think we're just going to bump that whole darn thing up. There we go. Just cut another piece of this. There we go. Ow. There. Okay. And then let's take this little piece off. And again, I want to make sure that I get it straight. And there we go. Card number 4. And you could add, if you wanted, you know, let's, first of all, let me, okay. When my glue gets like that, where it starts to jam, and I'm in the middle of something, I will take my lid off. It's weird, but I will squeeze it. I don't squeeze the glue out. While I'm holding it squozen, put the lid back on, there, and pull some of the glue out of the cap. And then my pin goes right back down in it. It's just a little quick fix. But what I'm going to do on this, in the corners, I am going to put some smaller gems. Smaller. You know what? I think we're going to do black. Since I've got the black in the back there, I'm going to do black. And I'm going to do, like, on this one, I'm going to do the large ones. Because the large ones are even kind of tiny. Just a little something. You won't really see this one that much, but it is there. So, you know. You kind of know it's there. Had I remember to stick my banners on, you would have been able to see it a bit better. But it's all good. So remember, everything is handmade. It's not going to be perfect. But it's perfect because you made it. It doesn't have to be technically perfect. There we go. See, added just a little bit. And there we go. Number 4. We've only got one more to do for this video. And I know it's already been kind of a long video. It's because my yapping. So, I promise the next ones, I'll try to make them quicker. And if there's a glare on that, I do apologize. I've got like 4 lamps on me to try and light this space up. Because the room I'm in is really dark, actually. Okay. Last one for today is this one. So, this one has a lot of pieces to it. And with something like this, it's okay to kind of... Okay, make sure cards open the right way. It's okay to, sorry, my arms are getting a little bit warm. You can see my chubby arms. It's alright to move your papers around a bit, to how you'd like them to look. So, I am going to do mine. I love that poinsettia paper. I'm going to do it this way. So it's red, green, white, red, green, red. And then in the middle is going to go this. So I just need to lay them out so I know where to. That's why it's hard for me. It's hard for things like this that are supposed to line up perfectly. It's a little difficult, especially when you have hands that don't want to work. So. And I actually hurt my arm again, so it's still not doing great. But I am going to, well, we're going to make it work. Okay. It's a scary, scary thing, but I always get nervous doing something like this. I mean, you can actually measure if you want to. That's cool. You know, but... Okay. And some of them are actually a little bit longer than they need to be. But I will trim all of that excess off when I am done. All you need is to get one down, and then you can just line the rest up. But I will get the excess off once I glue all these pieces down. So, isn't that pretty? That is so pretty, the poinsettias on the other side. But it's not easy cutting. For me, it's not easy cutting these, because you have to match your paper so carefully. And like trying to look ahead to see, sorry, I just had to fix my feet there. To see like how they're going to look when they're down, and it's not easy. But again, it is fun though. And it gives you some ideas too that you can use when making cards. Because I'm going to make a notebook out of all of the printouts. I did actually join her Patreon as well. And I got all of the older files as well. All the older downloads. Is that even? It's pretty close. And I'm going to make a notebook out of everything. And then when I need an idea for a card, you just go back and you go, okay, I can do this. You know, I can use one of these. It's not exactly lined up. You know what? It's good. It's fine. All right, this is, I'm just going to, and again, it's a cut apart that I cut down to the dimensions that were given. And she showed it on a fancy, with a fancy background, but I don't have I don't have all my supplies here. I did get quite a bit of my dyes. But I don't, I'm going to pop this up. But I don't have, a lot of my Christmas stuff isn't there for some reason. And a lot of my, like, I got half of my dyes, I guess, are here. I got them. Because last month, my husband was able to go to Arizona and get our belongings from there and bring them to where we are now. So he had called me from our storage unit, and he said, all right, I found a box. It says dyes and Christmas. And I said, bring it. It was Christmas paper pads and a bunch of my dyes. Like I said, there are more, but I got a ton more. But it's a good start. You know, I've got a good amount to play with. And let me put this. You know, that's a mistake I made before. I didn't put the pin in. There we go. See how easy it's sliding now? Yep. You just sometimes got to release the air and the glue a little bit. Okay, pull these off. Okay. And this one. Does it look straight? It does. Boom. Okay. And I'm not going to add anything else to this one. I like it, the way it looks. But I am going to, and I've only got one, really, well, a couple that are hanging over. So I'm just going to open my card. And these are very, very sharp. And I'm just going to go along the edge. It's probably easier with a longer pair of scissors, honestly, to do this. Come on. I'm just going to, I know everybody does this so quickly, but believe me, when your hands don't want to cooperate, it's not easy. Okay. And there we go. Number 5. Oh, you know what? Wait, not so quick. I just saw something that I want to do. Is the end of his hat. I'm just going to use a clear one. Okay, I'm going to see what size works. For the little, there we go. There. Just a little bit of bling. I like it. So that is number 5. And that is it for this video. Again, if you like videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Give it a like, a big thumbs up, and please share with a crafty friend. And also remember, I will have the link to Kendra's Card Challenge 11, the video, down below in the description box. That's all I got. I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.